College overreactions or not?
All right, here we go, Bobby Belt. Kalen DeBoer will not finish the year at Alabama. Overreaction or not?
He will finish the year at Alabama just because that is a massive buyout. It's a ton. But, I mean, he's not going to – I would not be surprised if he's not coaching at Alabama next year just because this is something where I don't think that Alabama is going to put up long with having as decorated a roster as they do and performing as poorly as they do. It is the first time since the George W. Bush administration they've been ranked outside the top 20. The iPhone didn't exist the last time they were ranked outside the top 20. They have lost 5 out of their last 10 games. They are a 500 football team. And like Johnny Manziel said the other day, every single team in the league, they ain't scared of them boys. Everybody in college football, nobody is scared of Alabama anymore. And Kalen DeBoer's got to shoulder that. I think he's a good coach. It sucks that he took this job because I think it was the wrong one for him. But ultimately, I think he's going to be done, just not this year.
Yesterday, DeBoer responded to the report that boosters are already concerned.
Our team I think we got a really good football. I think we got a good football team that can do some big things still this year. We got to prove it. We got to go do it. And to this point, it's been just me being able to focus on football, and I appreciate that.
It's not going to happen this season, but it's not an overreaction to think they would get rid of him unless the buyout is just impossible.
Yeah, look, he's a super nice guy, but to succeed in that conference, you've got to be somewhere between Mike Tyson and D.B. Cooper. And look him up, Peyton, if you don't know who D.B. Cooper is. But you got to be somewhere. You got to be.
I don't think I know D.B. Cooper.
He hijacked an airplane, stole money, and then jumped out the back window, like the back door. Opened the back door and jumped out.
And died?
They never found him. They think he had a parachute on. They never found him.
Wow.
They never found the money either. This happened like in Oregon in like the 70s.
That's cool.
Very cool, right? Very cool. So you got to be kind of crazy to coach there, and I just don't think he's crazy enough.
Too many principles, too many morals.
He's got morals. Overreaction or not? Texas made the wrong move by forcing out Quinn.
That feels like an overreaction. Quinn had I think,
he did declare and get drafted.
Yeah, 7th round. He did declare and get drafted. I think if they offered him $4 million, he would have stayed, though, right?
Arch was Arch, there was way too much pressure from everybody else to just Arch needed to get out there. And that's just the reality of what it was. Arch needed to play. Like you needed to figure out what you had there. You know what you had in Quinn. I mean, that's fine. He could have gone out there against Ohio State and he could have completed 20 passes for 60 yards. But, you needed to go out there and have Arch Manning leading this team this year to find out if you could level up another spot.
Agreed.
I agree. I think you had a ceiling with Quinn. I think Quinn would have beat Ohio State this past week.
I agree.
I don't think Texas. I mean, now Texas is so good. Maybe they would have won the Natty. I mean, they've been in the Final Four the last 2 years.
Yeah,
with Quinn.
I don't know about Quinn beating Ohio State because that would have been the return to Ohio State for Quinn. There would have been a whole other dynamic that existed there for Quinn that didn't exist for Arch.
How about Desmond Howard on the Rich Eisen show saying people are afraid to criticize Arch?
This is the beautiful part about all of this. People don't want to really criticize him as harshly because he is a Manning. And they want to stay in good favor with the Mannings, right? This is a big name in our sport. But so what they do is they make it seem like Matt Patricia, the defensive coordinator for Ohio State, just called this brilliant game that kept Steve Sarkisian and Arch Manning off balance for 4 whole quarters. Now, Matt Patricia did call a very good game. There's no doubt about that. But I saw guys on SportsCenter and other shows pulling 3 plays and showing how he may have confused Arch Manning with a look or a secondary switch at the last minute. And I'm watching the film, and I can show you 10 to 12 plays where guys were running wide open, and he either just didn't hit them with the ball or he didn't see these guys, and it wasn't that complex or that complicated.
How about that notion? I believe it. People are afraid. People have said that people are afraid to criticize because of Dion, and then this Manning Mafia hanging over.
Mafia.
Makes me think he's talking about Orlovsky with that film breakdown.
my one pushback on this is that like the same media members, like Peyton Manning was probably the most criticized athlete outside of A-Rod in the 2000s. Every little thing he did, it was choke this, choke that. I mean, up yours, media. That's what I had to say about that one.
We got different memories on that.
No, that's completely. That's completely. It was not Peyton. Peyton was beloved. People kept going like, "When is Peyton going to get a shot?" There were people trying to drag. No, don't even stop because we got a delay here, Chop. So you got to stop. You can't interrupt me. You're not even allowed to interrupt me. Now, here's the thing.
Hey, you can't win the big game. That's what he was. That's what he was. That's what he was. He was A-Rod before the Super Bowl.
No way.
He was A-Rod.
People may be afraid to criticize Arch Manning. That may exist. That dynamic may exist. I'll tell you who is afraid to criticize Ohio State. Michigan alum Desmond Howard, who is then going to say, Matt Patricia's running the most simple defense of all time. What are you talking about?
Overreaction or not, Ryan Day is an underrated coach.
Yes. He is an underrated football coach, so that's not an overreaction. The reality is that if you look over the last 4 years, something like that, if you take out the games against Oregon and Michigan, it's basically been two teams. He's like 52-1 or something. I mean, it's literally just Oregon and Michigan that have been able to beat him. As much as I hate it, he is an underrated football coach.
I totally agree. All right, next one.
What is his specialty?
He's an offensive guy, right? Wasn't he? He was the offensive coordinator under Urban, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Chasing a veteran quarterback in the portal is better than getting an elite 5-star freshman.
Not an overreaction, because I mean you are asking a lot when you get a freshman there. There's the whole anxiety of trying to keep them, establish them, try to hold on to the guy that you've recruited, the guy that you've invested so much money in. A lot of times it is just easier to say, let's go get the money from the boosters and let's go find us a Dylan Gabriel, or let's go find us a Jaden Daniels, or let's go do something like this. I don't think that's an overreaction at all. Find out who's good and then go acquire him.
What happened with your boy Nico?
Nico took. He wanted out of Tennessee. He just couldn't handle playing in front of 110,000 people and a good team. He said, "I can't wait to go to UCLA and play in front of 30,000 and get beat by 38 points."
They lost by 38.
Yeah, they lost 48-10. Nobody was at the game. He was bad. That's a tough spot for him now. In Tennessee, Aguilar played really well. Now look, I mean, it was Syracuse. Syracuse is what they are. They're going to wind up being. They were a 10-win team last year. They lost a lot of guys, but I mean, Tennessee fans right now think they upgraded. I don't know that they did because Nico's got a much higher ceiling, but that's what Bobby's talking about. That's part of the problem with getting these freshman quarterbacks. You don't. I think the jump from high school to college is bigger than the jump from college to the pro. For one reason, you've never played as a high school player in that kind of an environment. Like the atmosphere of a college stadium.
Yeah.
All right, overreaction or not, home field is greater and more important than talent in college football.
That's an overreaction. The hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Home field beats talent when talent is equal or talent is really close. Home field can matter then, but I just think flat out, I don't think Florida State beat Alabama because of home field. I think Alabama's bad. But I mean, yeah, like in an Ohio State-Texas instance, that matters a great deal. If that game's at DKR, Texas might win.
Overreaction.
Final one. Here we go. Paul Feinbaum will be forced into retirement from this weekend.
Paul Feinbaum is going to have to leave the country because what is it? He said if a Big Ten team won the title again, the top two teams in the country, who are they? Ohio State and Penn State. Paul Feinbaum is going to have to do the whole Rosie O'Donnell bit and move to Ireland or whatever.
Overreaction because as ESPN has sold their soul a long time ago, they're loving as long as he gives those hot takes and creates headlines and Lane Kiffin responds and they get to replay him being wrong, they care more about the splash than the substance. College, overreactions or not, with RJ Choppy.